Hello and welcome to the 6th episode of This Week in Chairs, an esports podcast. This is a show where we talk about the latest news and events and stories and drama in esports, but through the perspective of chairs specifically. We look at clips of the most interesting and prominent chairs that were used in esports this last week, and we review them and discuss them. Now, last week was Christmas, and so we missed the episode. We did not record it.
How was your Christmas, Doug?
It was lovely.
It was great, right?
It was very good. I sat in many chairs.
Nice. I heard your dog received a chair.
Yeah, my dog got a chair. I got a chair. So it was a very chair-filled Christmas, but we were focusing, on celebrating the birth of Christ rather than reviewing the chairs.
And also, the lighting of the Hanukkah menorahs just having a really solemn Ramadan all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to make up for the lack of an episode last week, we're going to do a double header this time.
That's correct.
So we still have 3 clips that we're going to talk about, 3 different chairs this week. And for, each chair we'll give it a review and all that. And then once we review those 3, we're going to have a little bit of an intermission, just a 5-minute break, collect our thoughts. We're going to have some adult beverages.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go back and review the same chairs again and see if our opinions changed over the course of 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I guess we should bring this up. What day is it today, Doug?
The 31st
of
December.
That's correct, which means that it would be New Year's Eve, which would also mean that I will see you next year, Douglas. Greatest joke.
Underutilized joke right there.
Greatest joke.
Yeah, so you know what? Let's dive right into it. Let's dive into the chairs. That's what we're all here for. All right. So this first chair comes to us from the WCA, which is the World Cyber Arena. Now, this is a big esports organization in China, which are putting on these events every year. There's they span a lot of different games. Dota is one of them, and what's great about Dota is that they have the casters and commentators in front of the stage here on these big white chairs with kind of like a heavenly aura to them. Like, it feels very, very cloud-like, very up in the skies, sort of. I do feel like I maybe ascended as part of this experience. So what do you think of these huge white chairs and the awkward positions that the analysts are sitting on?
I'm going to tell you right now, it reminds me of a marshmallow. It looks very comfortable. I would not mind
so in a
sitting
positive
in that
way.
chair. Yes.
Okay.
No. Also in a negative way, right? There's no sexiness to a marshmallow. It's just kind of a poof, and you're sitting on it. It looks comfortable.
You've never seduced a woman with a marshmallow?
Doug, there were times in college. Can't really bring those up on this. This is a G-rated podcast. I don't know if you knew that. But yeah, this is a very long clip of the guy.
There we go.
There we go. We're back to the chairs. It's
Here, I can pause it. All right. Yeah, that's a good frame. Okay.
It looks comfortable. I will say they look low to the ground. They have low back supports as well. Mm-hmm. The more I'm looking at these chairs, the more I'm thinking that they're not that comfortable. Because really, I'm just looking at the woman on the left, who is
very distinctly uncomfortable.
Yeah, and she also is just very small. Because the guy on the right is probably normal size.
Is she small or is the chair big? I actually cannot tell.
That's
is it the same chair as the one on the right?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think that she's just tiny, and he is normal sized, and he looks gigantic for that chair.
I think they're different. They look different, right? Because there's so much space in between her legs and the leg of the chair.
Right. But I think that that's her tucking back into the corner.
I guess, but that looks like a lot less room. I mean, unless that guy is twice as big as her, which is possible.
It's totally possible. Look at how big her shoes are too.
Also look like marshmallows.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I want to know is, should we approach this review from the perspective of tiny people sitting in these chairs or normal-sized guys like that sitting in the chair? Well, because it kind of, that affects who the target audience is for that chair, right?
I mean, definitely among our viewership, I could see that this would be a very divisive question. But... yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know if it would be comfortable to sit in at this point. Because it looks terrible for him, and it looks okay for her. It looks like for her, she's cozying up on it,
Yeah.
She's kind of wrapped up.
She looks like she's really trying to look comfortable.
Yeah.
and is just failing real hard at it. The other two look like they're just sitting in a chair, but she's like, this is maybe the first time she's ever sat down. She's terrified because the chair's like a lot, like she's heard about chairs her whole life, and now she finally sits in one. It's just huge. She's like, this is weird.
Not what I was expecting
so much
at all.
space sitting here, and she's like, just keeps touching her hair, getting nervous, and her huge shoes just look even weirder next to the chair. So I can see how this would be a very uncomfortable experience if you are a tiny person who's new to sitting and you get put in this marshmallow. But rating-wise, where would you say a marshmallow chair, for context, fits on a scale of 1 to 7?
So I'm thinking back to episode 4 or episode 3 when we were talking about them beanbag chairs.
Yeah.
And that's like a literal marshmallow chair. Well, it's still figurative, but. But like, if I was to expect to sit in a giant marshmallow, it would be one of those chairs. Whereas this is, it has the aesthetic of a marshmallow. It's poofy, but it has a bit more substance to it. It has a bit more rigidity. So on a scale from 1 to 10, not our normal 1 to 7 scale, because that's reserved for the chair review.
Chairs, right.
But this is for, being a marshmallow chair. I would probably put it at a solid 6.3.
Okay, and now, so 6.3 out of 10. That's how you would review a chair.
Yeah, it's a real D-.
A marshmallow-based chair. So with that in mind, how would you then review this white poofy chair?
On which scale?
1 to 7. Normal review.
Normal review.
And we are going to have an opportunity to come back and re-review this. So just
are we?
Yeah, just first thoughts. We are going to re-review all these chairs.
All right. I'm going to go with a... Oh, it looks so low to the ground. Again, it's so weird.
If I only saw the right two, I would be like, that's a comfortable chair.
Really?
Right two? The right two people, but then the woman on the left makes it look like this is the worst experience she's ever had in
I
a
have
chair.
the exact opposite.
You think she looks comfortable on the left?
I think she looks... she's like cuddled into it.
But it's weird. It looks way too big. Like her
it
right
looks
there,
too big, but like...
He looks like he's just sitting in a chair normally.
Yeah,
That does not look like a normal person sitting in a normal chair.
No, it looks like it's a giant chair,
terrified.
and I would love to sit in a giant chair.
She looks terrified sitting there. Look, she literally is like, I have no idea what's going on with my butt and my back. I can't tell what's happening. Look, she just reached nervously. I mean, okay, it's possible that it's not the chair inducing these feelings of nervousness, that maybe she's just nervous being on camera, and, maybe just it hasn't formulated her thoughts well. But I do want to attribute the vast majority of her posture and uncomfortable-looking nature to the chair she's sitting in.
I was going to say, it looks like production may have screwed up a bit. Obviously, they're trying to keep her in camera, they're trying to have her face forward, but they've turned the chair in this awkward angle so that it's, like, shooting out. So that's why she's got to go into this back corner and pretend that the corner is the backrest rather than anything else.
It's a large amount because of the angle. I think you're right. So, that's fair. If this chair was properly angled, I think she would look more comfortable in it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to skew herself in a strange direction.
I don't know. I think I'm going to give it like a 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Just solid 3.
Just solid 3 all around.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, WCA, you get
what do you think this
3 out of
thing
7.
Is?
That's the audio pack. Although he's also wearing earbuds.
Yeah. So, I don't think it's a mic, but...
It could be a mic. Shit, I should know this. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
We'll follow up on our second pass.
I just saw the mic on the other side of his face, yeah.
Huh. Oh, yeah, no, so it's just for holding the mic to his neck.
Gotcha.
All right, so congratulations, WCA. 3 out of 7. Moving on, we're going to review another Smash event. So this was Don't Park on the Grass. This is a really cool event in Seattle. Happened 2 weeks ago, I believe. And it's awesome, sort of like local community event up in Seattle in the Pacific Northwest. It's called Don't Park on the Grass. It was sponsored by Weed Maps, which is an application to help you find marijuana dispensaries, and Coca-Cola, which are closely related. You can see they covered a lot of different games, a lot of different Smash games, including 64, Melee, and Wii U. So cool coverage. Seeing some of the 64 play here, and these are chairs.
Oof.
What do you think of these chairs?
We had these chairs in high school.
You did?
Yeah, we did not have them in the classrooms, but these were our
gymnasium
orchestra and choir chairs.
Ah.
Surprisingly. They're garbage. Oh, they were also in the theaters, yes. You can see down here at the feet, it's kind of actually difficult to see. They actually have these interlocking pieces that fit together.
Well, that's to keep the chairs
all in
right?
a row. Yeah, exactly. Which is great for like stadium seating, but the chair itself just miserable to sit
Not
in.
comfortable to sit in?
No, not comfortable to sit in. There's a lot of give to the back. The legs leave a lot to be desired, to say the least. What are your thoughts, Douglas?
Well, okay, in your experience sitting on these chairs, what was the feeling when you sat into these weird V's? Because with the back, it angles like sharply in and then back out and at a like fan out. It's like really bizarre. I appreciate the sort of modern aesthetic to it, you know? It's like in and then back and fanned, but I don't see how that actually fits to the contours of your back.
Well, so I'm not sure on this one, but I believe that they implemented this design in order to be posturepedic, you know, like doing still good posture in kids. Because it kind of like digs into your back, but it also makes you go forward.
But that doesn't make sense, because like the middle is... Why is it like fanned in the middle like that?
Well, that's for your spine. But see, the problem is what ends up happening is it just pinches on your nerves, and then you lose all feeling of the left side of your body.
Is that what happened?
Every single time.
Jesus Christ.
It's really a public health concern that these chairs are still being used.
Sweet God.
Yeah.
What I was going to suggest, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but you know, this is Seattle. It's a Weed Maps funded event, and marijuana is legal in Seattle. And maybe the chair designer was, you know, smoked a few doobies before designing this chair, and just added some modern angles. But it sounds like there's actually a spine support that this might offer.
You know,
it looks uncomfortable.
It could also just be some pothead.
Yeah,
like you said, just being doing the doobs. That's what the kids call it nowadays.
that chronic.
Yeah.
So I think.
Do you think we would be good narcs? I think we would be terrible narcs.
Borks?
Narcs?
Narcs. No, we could be a cop. So I think it's a little open-ended here. Maybe the design here is intended to provide spine and back, you know, structural integrity, which could be great. Or maybe it's the product of somebody getting really high and then making a bad chair. I think for now we'll leave that question open-ended until we come back for our second round of reviews. But right off, you know, this first round, what is your review of this chair? What's your score?
2.5. If that.
Really? 2.5?
Yeah. I was thinking just giving it a 2. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna cut down to the 2.
I'm gonna give it a 3.1.
Wow, you're giving it a higher score than the marshmallow chair.
I didn't like the marshmallow chairs that much. Okay, what I appreciate about these is there's
even
a little bit
with my posturepedic story.
There's a little bit of modern aesthetic. There's a little bit of spine support. And it looks better, and part of the reason I say that is because we've reviewed a lot of Smash chairs now, all of which were god fucking
That's
awful.
true. This might be one of the better Smash chairs.
This is what I think in a Smash event they've achieved something that looks better. It's probably more comfortable than the stuff they had at like DreamHack or everything else. So I think of the 4 Smash events we've now reviewed, these are the most positive. I want to give some credit to that. So 3.1, which averages to a 2.6, right, or 2.55.
Yes.
Yeah. So 2.55. Congratulations. Don't park on the grass. Now let's move into our last chair of the week. So this comes to us from the Pokemon Trading Card Game Regional Championships. So if you don't follow competitive...
Wait, these were just regionals?
If you don't follow competitive Pokemon, there's a regional stage that then goes into, I believe, the state championships from there, and then Worlds. But basically, there's several tiers of competition that you go through. So the regional, this was held in San Jose, I think 2 weeks ago. And a whole bunch of Pokemon players came together to compete in this first sort of round of events. And you can see here in a minute, these are the chairs that the 2 competing players would play at against this round table. So when I was looking at these chairs at first, I was thinking, that's just a solid chair. This just looks good. You know, it's not the flashiest or greatest chair, but it seems comfortable, well-rounded, all right. And then I looked into it more, because that's what we do here. And I realized that
it's hard-hitting chair journal.
This is hard. Yeah. No, we're not gonna just give first impressions of a chair. We dive into it, and here's my thought. I think that the back, it goes up, it looks nice, but then it curves backwards pretty intensely, right? Mm-hmm. Like the guy on the left,
that's fair.
The whole upper part of his back is not leaning against the back of the chair, right? Yeah. And I think that's an issue because this is for a card game. This is intended for you to be playing at a table in which you are inherently going to be leaning forward, or at least you need to be sitting, straight backed. And this doesn't support that. This is for you to like lay back on your couch, or like in a laid back position for like a console game, not for a card game.
Yeah, here's what I'll say about this chair, which I enjoy. the color.
Color, yeah.
Great color. Great sex appeal.
Yeah, really good sex. And look at the white, like, the white's just on the back.
Exactly.
That's really subtle
like,
and nice.
It's real nice.
Real nice.
Real nice. But that being said, I think you're right as far as structural concerns are concerned. Shouldn't have said that twice. It's not that ergonomic. There is the distinct possibility that it has one of those knobs that makes it lean forward. But even so, you're still going to get... That's what I'm saying. You're still going to get...
forward. That won't
exactly.
work. That does not solve the problem.
So it doesn't really do anything as far as leaning back. That said, I think that it just may have been a bad choice for the venue and the game chosen. Right?
Yep.
Like, that's an excellent office chair right there. You know, you're getting your long stretch in. Like,
I would game in that chair. I would totally get back for a long gaming session in that chair. That seems good.
Yeah. Oh, and you can see on the sides, it has the adjustable
armrest features are good. The swiveling is good. I think there's a lot of merit to this.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think the chairs itself is great. But part of this podcast, we got to say the context of the chair, and I think this falls a little bit short of what you could achieve in a Pokemon setting. So,
though at the same time, I would have to ask, as an avid card player, what would you do, Doug, for a chair for card playing?
So I would have the chair come up and then reach over with shoulder straps.
Interesting.
That pull you back in, and then also it has it wraps over your stomach, and it has the vibrating weight loss belt there built in, so that you are losing weight while you're playing card games.
Now, does it also have a bandolier that you could put Monster energy drinks into?
Yes. Okay. Well, no. So it's bandoliers, but then there's several camelback funnels and tubes that spike out and go into your mouth. So you hook in, you pull the straps, you hook in.
Do you
monsters,
hook in or do you jack
the belly starts going. And then both tubes, it's basically once you turn the chair on, there'd be an on button, the tubes all shoot inwards.
So it's not really it's not like a camelback, it's more of a force
blasting monster down your throat. And it's all you can do to survive, to not drown in this chair, because you were getting fucking blasted with monster, just reamed full of it. But I think what would be cool is then you get expansion packs that you add into the camelback, Doritos. So it's they crush Doritos, put that directly into the monster, which shoots.
So what you're saying is you become like a chicken in the meat industry, just kind of shoveled in Doritos.
This chair is just a full ecosystem that is just packing you full of all the nutrients you need, whether or not you want it.
No, it's
because it's just fattening you up for an esports competition.
Well, more than anything, it's providing you that energy, that focus, that you need to really, really crack down.
That's what the best. You talk to anybody who's good at anything.
It's true.
That's what they need.
Yeah,
Monster and Doritos, and they need it fast velocity down your throat. There's no time to chew.
Yeah, without any part on them, to choose whether they're going to be consuming these things. It's just it's happening.
You're not going to be the best Pokemon player in the world if you have to spend time lifting up a monster can and swallowing it down in your throat. It's got to just go, 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 go. And that lets you focus on the Pokemon. I think these chairs are great. 5.5 out of 7. It's probably a little too high. 5 out of 7.
Yeah. Have we ever given a 6? I don't think we've given a 6.
I think one of us has.
Yeah, maybe.
5 out of 6. 5 out of 7.
I'm going to give it 5.5. I really like the color. I think it pops.
Aesthetics
it
really
pops,
good.
Especially against the blue background. I actually don't know what those legendary Pokemon... I know that they're the new ones from Sun and Moon, but I do not know their names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So 5.25, it's a pretty good score. I think you did really well, Pokemon Nationals. I'd love to see that back straightened up, and then I think this could be...
And really, more than anything, I think the main thing that it lost points on was just that it wasn't the right chair for the venue.
Yeah, that's really it. I think it's a great chair. Yeah. And I think that, this is definitely one of the better chairs we've reviewed. I would maybe go higher. I want to leave some room for a chair that really fucking blows our minds, down the road.
If you were to just guess, what kind of chair brand do you think that would be?
It would be like a Ox Normic.
It's
like a mixed Nimic.
DX Racer.
DX Racer. Boom! No, we're kidding, folks. DX Racer sucks.
Yeah.
Max Nomics is the best chair. And we'll take sponsorship any day now, Max.
Anytime.
So congratulations to the Pokemon Nationals. So this is the halfway point of this show because we are doing a double header. So we're gonna take a 5-minute intermission and have a couple drinks, and then we're gonna re-review all these chairs and see if our opinions change at all. All right, so see you in 5.
All right. Oh, we should set this to yakety sax.
I can do that. We'll do it in post.
We'll do it in post. People are gonna think I'm lame. They're gonna think I'm the lame one because I'm not just crushing brews.
You want a brew?
No, I don't want a Bud Heavy.
Just drink a brew. Did I tell you about Ralph? When you burp, you say Ralph. And it sounds really funny. Ralph.
Where did you get this?
And we're back. It's been 5 or so minutes. We've had a couple drinks. We've had time to let the thoughts of these chairs really gestate, ruminate in our brains.
That's correct.
Feeling great.
Also, great use of the terms gestate and ruminate.
I don't even know if those were correctly used. But
No, they were pretty correctly used. Doing well, Douglas. Expanding that vocabulary.
each Budweiser that I drank correlated to one more word that was unlocked. So we're going to go back through these 3 chairs again to compensate for our missed episode last week. We're going to re-review these, and that'll just be simple, straightforward. We're going to say if anything's changed in the last 10 minutes and a new score. So let's jump through this stuff. Back to the marshmallow chairs. 5 minutes didn't really change anything. Not sure why it would have.
I'm looking at them more and more, and I'm wondering if they were recliners, if we would like them more.
Well, that would just be a good chair.
Right? Like, that would be a nice chair.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a good esports chair, though.
No,
like
no.
recliners
Well, okay,
would
that could be
nice.
kind of cool. Okay, imagine, because they look uncomfortable. They just look fucking awkward. This guy's like pulling it off, but the other two, I don't think really
Again,
are.
but the girl on the left may be due to production issues more than anything else.
Sure.
Or set dressing. I don't know what you want to call it.
Set dressing.
I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist.
No, you aren't. What would be awesome, though, is if you got 3 analysts who are all just reclined back in a chair. Like, that would be sick.
Wouldn't that be a lot of fun?
Like,
if they were
that'd be
just
cool.
like having a good time lounging all the
Yeah,
time. Just
yeah.
like,
That could be a really cool style, Like,
oh, you should take this into account.
like I do like that,
Yeah.
that Dota play.
Yeah.
Because they're just too rigid. They're straight and forward. And clearly these aren't recliner chairs, but...
And then at some point they're just like, hey, do you ever wonder if the green that I see is different from the green that you see?
What?
What?
Fuck are you talking about?
Whoa. It's a G-rated show, Doug.
Yeah, I apologize. Apologize to our children fans. What I will say, set dressing wise, I like the consistent white through the set. I like that they put the stage. There's bold like white LEDs throughout.
And then you can see on the left side over there.
Exactly,
like
throughout the
those
whole
white
thing,
portals.
all the text is white. Like they really went for a look, and I think they got the look pretty good. These chairs don't look comfortable. It seems like they put the people who sit in them in an awkward position, and then if they're angled, even more so, as we discussed. But it all matches with the set. The table's there. I think that they nailed this cool sort of like very light look. So I'm liking it more than I did the original time, where initially I was just thinking, how does this relate to a marshmallow? But now I'm looking at it more of a chair.
Yeah, like I said, I like these chairs to a degree. I think their main problem is that they're like, again, I can't tell. I can't tell if they're small or big. But that being said, Doug, the one on the left or the one in the middle?
All right, what's your final review? Just give me a number. 1 to 7.
Let's go with another 3.
Is that what I don't remember what we were getting.
Yeah, we gave it a solid 3 last time.
All right, I'm giving it a 3 again. Nothing really changed with 10 minutes, unfortunately. Offered new commentary, but it was just fluff. None of this has any meaning or value.
Doug, the one on the left or the one in the middle?
All right, moving on to our next chairs. WCA, you still get a 3 out of 7. Back to the Smash Brothers events. And this excellent chair here.
Okay, have you had time to mull over the posturepedic argument that I brought up earlier?
Okay, here's one thing. I'm going to base my entire judgment of this chair off of the guy comes back into the video and he sits down. And depending on his reaction, when he sits down, that's what I'm going to base it off of.
He leans back pretty far.
That's pretty neutral.
But then he leans forward, and then he leans back again.
But wait, hold on. The whole posture thing, right? That would imply that you are scooted into the chair all the way back, right? Your lower back is tucked in, and then your back's like, he's not doing that.
No.
None of these guys in the background, none of them are doing it. None of them are actually utilizing the posture. So if you make a chair, you're like, oh, it's going to be this crazy new thing. Like, we're going to angle in our weird fucking ways and fan out because we're high and we're in Seattle.
So are you
but
saying
then nobody sits in it
are you
to
saying
utilize it in that way? That's not a successful chair. Your chair needs to, like, coax people into utilizing it correctly if you're going for some crazy new mechanism.
Well, you would use it correctly. Utilize technically means you use it in a way other than its intended matter.
This is why we got a lawyer on the show. For the technicalities like that. It's what our
Just real petty.
It's what our viewers love about this show. We identify the important things. None of these guys are none of the people we've seen. Those guys in the back, every audience member, they're all way forward.
Butts are way forward.
And if this chair can't get a single fucking person to sit in it in a way that supports their posture, then there's no point in making. I don't think it's good for the audience. I don't remember what my score was, and I don't think I'll change it.
It was low.
I think it was 3. I think it was 3.
No, you actually gave this
3.1.
a higher
I gave it
score
3.1.
than the marshmallow chair.
3.1.
Yeah, 3.1. You've only had 3 beers and some of that 4th beer, Doug.
If only, yeah. I'm sticking. No, you know what? I'm lowering from a 3.1 to a 3 because of the points I mentioned above, where nobody seems to be using this in the posture intended way. What's your score?
You know, I'm gonna go back to a very minor detail that I brought up earlier about how they interlock together so that they stay as a row, and I'm actually gonna increase my score because I think that for the players, terrible, just awful.
Oh yeah.
For the audience, pretty good. Pretty good for the audience because it kind of like locks you in.
Yeah.
You know? So I think I gave this a
2.5.
No, I dropped it down to a 2.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm going to give it like a 2.37.
Okay. So we're giving it a 3 and a 2.37, which averages to a
5.27 over 2.
2.315, right?
Sure.
No, 2. Oh, god damn it. No, that's not correct. 2.
5.
Somewhere in a.
All right, next chair.
Yeah, next chair. We're not equipped to deal with the.
Doug, I'm gonna tell you right now what my thoughts are. I gave this chair too low of a grade last time. And I knew it the second that we ended the segment. I was like, you know what?
You thought that was all wrong.
It was all wrong.
I should have stood up for my convictions. I was passionate about this chair.
I should have given it a 6 at that time, as I brought up the point that we have never given a 6 before. I like this chair.
This is your favorite chair. We've reviewed. This is the 6th episode. This is the 18th chair that we'll have reviewed. Yeah. You're saying this is the best one.
Definitely.
In the last 7 weeks of esports, this is the best chair.
Yeah.
Excluding Maxnomic.
Well, we haven't had any Maxnomics.
That we've reviewed, yeah. But we're comprehensive. This represents all of esports.
Yeah. No, I'm going to tell you right now. We ended that segment, and immediately I was like, this should have been my first 6. And I'm going to tell you why. I keep underrating how sexy this chair looks.
It's a sexy chair.
Like
it's a really sexy chair.
The fabric of the red, like it's like a ruby red. It's not like a crimson. It's not like this can. It's not like that. No, it's way sexier than that. There's a shimmer to it. There's an elegance to it that you can't get with anything else except for that fabric of material. And I would love to sit in that chair.
Would you like it more than your current chair, which is a rickety piece of shit, old bag of wooden garbage
Douglas,
that you subject your ass and back to on a daily basis?
Douglas, you don't have to
This
bring up.
pile of 18th century shit
It's a beechwood chair.
is absolute
It's a recreation
pile
of
of
a
fucking
1920.
garbage. But yeah, I could see how you'd want to sit in a competent chair like this rather than.
Are we gonna bring up chairs that we have in this apartment? You want to bring up this chair, Douglas?
No, we're not doing that. We're getting off track. All right, the adult beverages were a bad idea. We're getting off track from our core focus, which
It's called
is
tangential.
to
That's what we're
review
doing.
the chairs that are on the screen here. I appreciate that in the last 10 minutes you've, now revered these fucking chairs for some reason.
It's not a reverence, all right? It's still a 6 out of 7. That's still a solid B.
I think my score is still a 5. I think it's good. It's a good chair. You're overestimating it.
Fair enough. To each their own, even if your opinion is wrong.
All right. So congratulations, Pokemon Trading Card Game Regional Championships. You are still the #1 rated chair, but potentially that we have done so far on the show.
I think it's the highest. I'm trying to think.
We reviewed the Rocket League chairs really well. Those might have been like a 5.5. And this is a 5.5 right now. But anyway, I think this is either the highest or tied for the highest. So congratulations, Pokemon. Really well done. It's a slick chair. Looks good. Nobody's arguing with that. Great job.
It could use a monster and Doritos and apparatus added
As
to it.
discussed previously, there's room for improvement for sure. So in chair news, this is the segment where... Okay, as always, we discuss some of the big, hard-hitting news and headlines from just the chair world. This isn't about esports necessarily; it's just about chairs. So, wanted to bring up a big chair story that happened recently.
It's the personal piece of the podcast.
Yeah, this is where we really shine as individuals. And in this one, there was a big scandal, a big scare in New Jersey, where there was a mall where a fight broke out and then somebody slammed a chair, and apparently that chair slamming sounded like a gunshot to the point that it caused a mall-wide panic, and all the police groups had to come in because they thought there was a shooting because these chair slammings sounded like gunshots. Very tragic for the chair world. Speaking of tragic for the chair world,
But great for the gun world.
yeah, really good for the gun world. Like, they're making moves. They're finding creative ways to imitate guns.
This one was sad.
And in our other sad chair news, Vladimir Kadin, a very famous chair designer, arguably the most famous in the 20th century. He has died at age 88. Maybe some of you don't know him if you aren't sort of keeping up with the most recent chair design celebrities, but, he has a long history. He was born in Germany or somewhere, and then he came here to New York and spent something like 6 decades doing all these kind of crazy chair designs. He was really recognized for it. He even got to the point where he was designing these like crazy, very modern, weird chairs that were bought by A-list celebrities like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, who would literally come to buy this guy's chairs. He's passed away from a heart attack. It's very sad. The chair world is mourning. Sorry to hit you with such sad news. 2016 was a tough year for everybody. And the chair world had to lose one of theirs. But the positive way to think about this is that it's like farming, where you need to make a sacrifice to ensure the next year's harvest. And in this case, Vladimir Kadin, the famous chair designer, while he did die of a heart attack, we can view that as a sacrifice so that next year's chair designers can have a bountiful harvest.
Yeah, I was going to
chairs.
say it's a lot like who wrote it? The lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they sacrifice somebody every year
Exactly,
to ensure
for
bountiful
corn harvest.
Yeah, for corn
But
harvest.
it's really chair
In the
harvest.
world of chairs, you have to sacrifice a famous chair designer, and this guy was 88. I bet he made the decision too. He was like, "Look, nobody famous in the chair world has died this year, and it's got to be me because 2017 is going to have just some bomb dank ass chairs."
Yeah,
It's
I
only
mean, he's
gonna happen
really
if
trying to
some-
revolutionize again.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to get his...
One more time, he's saying like, "I'm going to leave an impact."
No, for sure.
Vladimir Kadin is an inspiration to the chair world, and we're really going to miss him. Even though I learned about him 1 hour ago when I
Wait,
googled chair news.
Doug, when did he die?
Let's move on.
Oh wait, was it April?
Let's move on to chair trivia.
Mike.
So for chair trivia this week, we've enlisted one of our friends to come in and offer us 2 chair trivia questions.
That's true. We did not have a lot of time to prepare. We had to bring him in.
Is our friend? All right, so just stand like here.
Well, no, I use this chair back here.
Yeah, or use the chair.
Oh, you don't want to use that chair. I just talked shit about that.
It's just for decoration. All right, so this is our friend Mike, and he's going to be providing us 2 trivia questions that... Yeah, that's you right there. He's going to be providing us 2 trivia questions.
That's not me.
And then Jack and I are both going to try to answer. We're going to see who's more knowledgeable about chairs this week. All right, let's fucking do this. And you got to talk a little loudly because you're far away.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's the microphone. Yes. I think the first question I had was maybe about a knowledge about some of the darker chair history that we might have.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about the electric chair. More importantly, when was that first started as a method of use in
Executions.
Yes, that one.
That's what you're trying to think.
The electric chair.
The electric chair.
Okay, so the question is, when was the electric chair
Introduced what decade?
What decade was the electric
chair introduced?
in America?
Are we just going just decade?
First-
just
Just
decade?
a decade.
And
Okay.
in America specifically?
Let's use America.
Or the
yeah.
world. Okay.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that America was the pioneer on this front.
On the electric chair. Okay.
But I could be mistaken.
This is a good chair trivia question.
That's a good
I've
chair
gotta
trivia
say.
question. Okay, so what year was the electric chair used?
For the first time.
And decade.
Or decade. Yeah.
Let's not be unreasonable.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's work this out together as much as we can. All right.
Okay.
So Nikolai Tesla has has alternating current, right?
Okay, we're starting with
And then-
the history of electricity.
Well,
yeah.
and then
Were there chairs then?
Did Tesla have chairs?
When were chairs
Yeah,
invented?
when were chairs
Edison has direct current. Both of them can kill people.
I believe there was an elephant test where Edison used to...
You talking about Topsy?
I think so.
I think you're talking about
Where
Topsy.
Edison tried to destroy Tesla's career.
Yeah, he was like, look at this elephant. I'm going to shock it with alternating current, and then Topsy died.
Is
No,
this
that was sad.
okay? And this is informing our decision of what decade the electric chair was.
Yes,
Okay.
because I'm just thinking of that general time period.
When was Tesla around?
That's what I'm trying to think of.
Okay, I
think it's 1890s.
I don't think that the decade that electricity was invented should be a cornerstone for when we decide the electric chair was used. I think the
but
electric chair
that's-
wasn't used until after World War II.
So that's why I think it's weird, because it's when electricity is not invented, but like when you have these two alternating inventors saying like, this is why electricity is great, this is why electricity is great, use my electricity. You've got Edison saying, hey, alternating current is terrible because if you run it through if you run it through any kind of organic matter, it dies. And he's performing experiments where he's literally killing things. With
He's
being
using
like,
Tesla's
yo, alternating
information
current
to
sucks.
kill things, just explain how bad it is.
Gotcha. So okay, wait. So you're hypothesizing that
Because of that, it speeds up how fast the electric chair.
Well,
ends up
do you
being
think
an
electric
execution
chair?
device.
Do you think electric chair started in that decade then, as part of his tests?
I don't think
Because
it starts
could've-
that
Because
early.
the electric chair isn't like this was used to execute somebody.
Okay, so it was government electrocuting people.
I would assume maybe not hopefully the government, but who knows?
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the 1910s.
I'm gonna go way later and say 1950s, and my reasoning there.
That's insane.
That
Have you
is?
never seen the Green? You love. Oh wait, not Stephen King.
Green Mile?
Crichton. Yeah,
That is King. That's not Crichton.
that's
Green
what
Mile?
I'm saying. Yeah,
When was that set?
it's set in the 1940s.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. With that information, I just think it's later because my guess is that people wouldn't use electric chairs until the point that like killing people with a firing range is out of fashion. You know.
Well, the firing range is actually proven to be the most effective way of.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1930s.
All right.
So I don't know the exact answer.
Oh, come on!
Jack,
Get it close to
Jack,
my
you were
thing,
very close on your first guess
here.
that you then changed. It either was the 1880s or 1890
no.
exactly.
shit.
So
it's
you had
18
guessed it, and then you had changed your answer, unfortunately.
Oh shit, dude. So
Shit.
So it was actually. So it was like right around. Man,
So like right when they were doing all their experimentation.
They, like,
Apparently,
immediately
I wasn't so
You
knowledgeable
weren't
about
there.
the Tesla Edison time frame. I didn't realize that was the 1888
They'll sing
90.
autopsy at my autopsy.
I don't know what that means.
It's from Bob's Burgers. It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
All right, trivia number 2.
Okay, wait, no. So just to recap, the electric chair was first used in the
It was
18.
developed in the 1880s, and the first time I believe it was ever used was 1890. But maybe it was
1890
used in
exactly.
trials prior to that.
Gotcha. Okay, but we know it was between 1880 and 1890. That's very interesting. That is literally 50 decades earlier than I would have guessed, or 50 years.
It was 50 decades or 50 years than you did guess.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting, and I think it says a lot about esports. Okay.
So the other question I had, and I unfortunately don't know the answer to this one, so
It's not helpful.
That's
You
not
told
a
me
tough
before I got on
fucking point of chair
You
trivia.
told me before I got here I didn't need to know the answer.
No.
No, what we said is we weren't going to be the ones asking you the question for the answer. You need
literally
to know the
said-
question
All right,
and the
whatever.
answer.
Just ask the question.
All right,
Ask
well,
the
my question was about Lazy Boy.
Okay.
And if you could tell me about
That's a good one, yeah.
the mastermind, the genius, the people that developed that concept.
Oh, that is
Lazy
wait.
boy.
You know, if I were to guess,
Alexander Hamilton.
no, it was.
No. No. You can't. Come on. It's chair trivia. Have some respect.
It was Mr. Kagan.
It was
So
Kagan.
yeah.
It was Vladimir
It was
Kagan.
Vladimir Kagan.
Vladimir Kagan, the famous 20th century chair designer who recently passed away. It was very tragic for the chair world.
April
it was just
2016.
discussed 5 minutes ago on Chair News. Was it Vladimir Kagan?
I unfortunately don't know the answer to this. Like I mentioned, you guys
God.
miss. You told me the wrong.
Why the
information.
fuck would we have you
That's what I was giving
do
you.
chair trivia with
This-
no answer? That's not helpful.
This is why we can't have wild cards like this.
No, the whole...
I'm going to give a real chair trivia question.
Okay, that Mike gets
Either
to
of you
answer.
can answer.
All right, wait. Aim it at the mic. All right.
All right.
This mic, not that one.
This Chronicles of Narnia book has a chair in its title.
I only know The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Chairs of Futures Past.
It was the silver chair.
The Song of Fire and Chairs.
The Fellowship of the Chair.
All right.
All right, we're done.
That's been...
We're ending it.
That's
We're
the...
going to need to add a rider to the beginning of the next episode about who Lazy Boy.
Yeah, we will need to follow up with Lazy Boy. But that's the end of a phenomenal hour-long, garbage-filled episode.
God, I really hope that one person is just like, I'm watching this all the way through. I love this podcast.
Yeah, if anybody watched this all the way through, kudos to you. Let us know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a chair-filled week, and we'll see you again next week for more chair news, more chair trivia, more chair drama. It's gonna kick ass. Let's go! Woo!
Except for Mike.
I will
He's
not
not
be
gonna
here.
He won't be here.
No.
Probably for the best.
This was a trial run, and he failed. It came with chair trivia. Didn't even know the answer. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Wait, we're still on.
Yeah, I forgot to switch to the outro.